Rather than going into a full tutorial today, I wanted to share the Varnish video for a painting that I shared a couple weeks ago. Because the painting is so large, the varnish itself took quite a while to apply, so I wanted to take this time to just have a chat with you guys about the importance of inspiration in our paintings. If you want to see the full time lapse of this painting being made, I will link the time lapse of the painting in the upper right hand corner as well as the description. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive in. Today, I want to talk about a topic I've been thinking a lot about over the past week, which is grounding your paintings in inspiration. I know this is pretty vague and can mean a lot of different things, though, so before I get carried away, I should explain what I mean. Earlier on in my painting journey, I focused almost exclusively on portraits, whether they were of people or of animals. It didn't matter to me that capturing a likeness was more challenging. There was always some detail of their face that I was just glued to. I didn't care how much time or energy it required. I needed to capture that. I think for this reason, I actually really struggled with still life and landscapes. I just didn't have that same spark. It wasn't until I saw other artists having that moment with those subjects that I realized that I could have a passion for it. Maybe for them, the spark was a beautiful color shift in the floral arrangement or the composition of a river twisting through a canvas. I couldn't see those things before, but after working with artists who loved those subjects, I feel like that spark was passed on to me. It may have been weak, but it was enough to ignite some excitement in me for those subjects, and as a result, I began to improve my skill in painting those subjects so much more quickly. Now, fast forward to this week. I was talking with a student who was comparing a favorite painting that she had made to one she was still in the process of finishing. She noticed that her favorite painting had felt almost too easy. It just flowed right out of her. And I got a sense there was a question in there. Had her favorite painting been too easy? But what I saw when I looked at her painting was an immensely challenging subject. It reminded me of this painting you're seeing here that I'm varnishing. This painting, it's complex with translucent fabrics and ornate furniture, not to mention being a portrait. But it came so naturally while I was painting. Does that make this painting less of an accomplishment? Or less beautiful? I wouldn't say so, though I think it's easy for us as painters to think that way. But more importantly, I think it teaches us something about the more difficult paintings that we endeavor to make. Those paintings where, try as we might, we just flail. For me, that's usually still life pieces or landscape. It's just harder to find that spark and give it oxygen. But sometimes I don't find it and it gets snuffed out, and I wipe my panel clean and start fresh another day. In these instances, I think it's important not to think of this as being some personal failure. Instead, I think it can be more helpful to think of it as not a result of some deficiency in our painting, but rather as the result of this tiny component of the process. We just weren't inspired to capture that painting the way we were with others. On some level, I think this is inevitable, even for the most experienced or celebrated painter. And my conversations with mentors has definitely shown this to be the case. But if you struggle with this, I think the trick isn't to ask yourself, why wasn't I good enough for this painting to turn out? But to instead ask, what is it that this composition lacked that I've found in my more successful paintings? And how can I get closer to finding that in my next painting? I think this painting taught me that the key is to be looking and open to painting subjects and inspiration all of the time. The paintings I'm not looking for probably won't find me. So I really need to go out, whether it's with my paints or my camera, and experience and record everything that I can. Work with more models, go on plein air trips, have my camera ready as often as possible when painting from life isn't an option. So from here on out, I want to be even more mindful of this. I want to set myself up for success as often as I possibly can. And I see now that the first step to that is seeking out inspiration as often as I can. And I'm really excited to see what that brings and to share that with all of you. If you found this chit chat helpful, please like this video and comment down below to tell me when you found that spark and maybe when you haven't. And if you found any tips to add fuel to that spark, I'd really like to hear your experience, and I'm sure everyone in the comments would too. As always, if you liked this video and you want to see more or just know when I have new content out, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll have a new video going up first thing next week. And until next time, happy painting.